What is up, y'all? Brand Panty Gamers here. Welcome back to Phoenix Wright Destinies. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and continue episode 1, part 2, Turnabout Countdown. In the last part, we know who the culprit is, which I believe is Ted Tune of the courtroom bombing, and we also found Apollo dead or unconscious. I don't know, but we also met the new lawyer Athena Sykes. And her power, I find very interesting, and I look forward to doing more. You know, the freaking contradicting emotions. But, yes, anyways, Turnabout Countdown, let's go, give it a go. Oh boy. There we go, jeez. This isn't exactly how I envisioned the second day of this trial to start. But given how things ended yesterday... Good morning. The mood sure is tense. Not that that's any surprise. Oh, hey, did you read the paper this morning, boss? Huh? The paper? That came out of left field? You didn't read it? Then you don't know the big news. Somebody spotted an abominable snowman way up in the mountains. Tell me you know the difference between a paper and a tabloid, Dina. It might show up in the forest where you live, Junie. So you better watch out, okay? You really should read the story for yourself. I couldn't even begin to do it justice. Justice? Huh? Oh, poor Apollo. It's all my fault. Dina! Oh, Junie, what was I thinking? I'm so sorry. What we found yesterday was not Apollo's dead body, thank goodness. What? He'd been assaulted by someone with a blow to his head and was lying unconscious. So he's not dead, he was just assaulted, okay. We rushed him to the hospital right away, and it looks like he's going to pull through. But it was still quite a shock to stumble onto a scene like that. Is Miss Woods alright, Athena? Well, I managed to get her to stop crying. Now she's resting on that sofa over there. I guess she really feels responsible for what happened to Apollo. Poor Junie. Can you believe that the reason Apollo was attacked? Because he was helping her look for something in the courtroom. Oh? Guess I can see why she'd think that. By the way, how are you doing? Who, me? Yeah, you. I know you're concerned about Miss Woods, but are you alright? Me? I'm doing just fine, boss. I mean, yeah, it was a huge shock, but I'm alright. People who study analytical psychology are great at times like these. After all, they learn how to control their own emotions too. Somehow I don't think it's as easy as she makes it sound. But there's no denying she's a real trooper. Paul doesn't remember a thing, does he? Yeah, he can't recall anything from the time the time right before he was assaulted. Nothing about what he was doing in the courtroom number 4 or who assaulted him. Doctor says probably due to that hit he took to the head. Assaulted in the court of law and losing a memory of that? I know how that feels. But who in the world would do such a thing, huh, Mr. Wright? Just wait till I get my hands on the power who hurt our Apollo. Now, Athena. I thought you said you were in control of your emotions. Let's just focus on helping Miss Woods, okay? But I admit I'm just as upset as you. Okay, boss. You're right. Apollo's assailant can wait until after we clear Junie's name. That's the spirit. Now let's see. I better check the court record one more time before the trial starts. Okay, let me go and look at it. So we got a bomb transport case that belongs... Alright, yeah, I guess we're good. We'll just... Yeah, okay, I forgot where the back button was, but good thing we know. If memory serves, when I have more than 6 pieces of evidence, I should be able to switch pages with these panels. Yeah, that's literally what I just did, right there. Earth to Mr. Wright, I'm ready whenever you are. Alright, let's get out ready to rumble. You bet. Okay. With everything that happened with Apollo, I didn't have time for a proper investigation. I can't let that stop me, though. I have to get this right for Mr. Wood's sake and Apollo's too. And yes, guys, I'm recording it about midnight, as the time can tell. But I want to, like, you know, get this recorded. Day 2. Oh boy.
Court will now reconvene for the trial of Juniper Woods.
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is also ready, Your Honor.
Now then, I believe I instructed the prosecution to further their investigation. Were you able to locate the remote switch in question?
I'm afraid the remote switch is still missing, Your Honor.
I must say I'm disappointed, Mr. Payne. Not angry, just disappointed.
I apologize, Your Honor. Aha. Looks like the prosecutor just as unprepared as I am. There is a separate matter, however, that I would like to bring up during this trial.
A separate matter, you say? And what might that be?
I assume you are aware that another incident occurred during yesterday's trial. I'm speaking, of course, of the assault on Mr. Justice in the ruins of courtroom number 4.
Uh-oh.
Why is he bringing that up?
Yes, but a truly harrowing experience it must have been. Poor Mr. Justice.
At the time of the attack, Mr. Justice was not alone. He was with the defendant, Miss Juniper Woods. He isn't going where I think he's going with this, is he? Most likely he will. The prosecution was to indict Miss Woods on the charge of Mr. Justice assault.
Order in the court. Mr. Payne, the incident under deliberation here is the courtroom bombing. The assault on Mr. Justice has nothing to do with this trial.
But I believe there is a connection between this case and Mr. Justice's assault. Please take a moment to consider these facts. Both events occurred in courtroom number 4. This is the location in courtroom number 4 where the unconscious Mr. Justice was discovered. And as you can see, it's quite close to where Detective Arm's body was found. Okay. The question is, why did the culprit feel the need to maliciously attack Mr. Justice?
Why indeed? What do you believe the motive to be, Mr. Payne?
I believe Mr. Justice was found something in that courtroom while Miss Wood was with him. Evidence that fingered her as the perpetrator of the bombing.
You mean he found some incriminating evidence?
Precisely, and so I surmise that the defendant picked up a piece of rubble and hit Mr. Justice on the back of the head in order to silence him. Objection! Judy would never do such a thing. She was devastated when we found Apollo hurt like that.
Miss Sykes, please control your outburst.
It's in the prosecution's belief that by deliberating on Mr. Justice's assault, we will draw ever closer to the truth of the courtroom bombing itself.
Very well. Miss Wood is hereby officially indicted on the charge of assaulting Mr. Justice.
Why are you listening to Mr. 2B over there? Although, considering our conversation yesterday... yeah... wonder what it was. Yeah. Maybe flashbacks when it won't repeat, just because I don't want to waste time. Maybe the two incidents really are related after all. I would like to start by hearing from the defendant herself.
Very well. Bailiff, please bring Miss Wood to the witness stand.
I'm sorry. I can't seem to stop.
Miss Woods. Guess she's still really upset about Apollo.
Miss Woods, you went to the ruins of court number 4 with Mr. Justice, did you not? Yes, I did. Good, good. If you would then, please testify about what happened to the court.
Alright, here we go. Alone with Apollo.
During the trial yesterday, I was overcome by a fit of coughing.
Okay.
Apollo stayed with me and we went to the courtroom ruin together.
I might press on that.
When I was called back to this courtroom to give testimony.
True.
Apollo insisted on staying behind in courtroom number 4. I swear I didn't attack Apollo. Why would I ever hurt such a kind person?
So, Mr. Justice stayed by your side while you were feeling unwell? What an admirable young man. I thought his loud voice was his only outstanding feature.
Court of Steel. He may look like a little imp at times, but Apollo can be really nice too.
I hope she didn't hurt her wrist backhanding that one out. But one has to wonder, why did Mr. Justice stay behind in the ruins?
I think Apollo might have figured something out.
Something? What kind of something?
Something to do with the courtroom bombing kind of something, I think.
Oh, new evidence for the case, was it? That's a very big kind of something indeed.
I believe so. He mentioned looking for some evidence when I was called away.
Objection!
Objection! What now?
Just as I thought, there is a connection between the two incidents. But the defendant has told a very big lie, Your Honor.
What lie is that?
When she learned Mr. Justice would be looking for evidence, she attacked him. She attacked him to give herself the chance to destroy that evidence. No, I never...
Objection!
Objection!
Miss Woods repaid Mr. Justice's kindness with violence. We found the proof of her foul deed there in the courtroom.
Ah, seriously? What on earth?
Do you see it? There in front of Mr. Justice's right hand. Witness the message he left us.
It's written in blood. W-O-O-D-S? Why isn't that?
That's right, Your Honor. It says Woods in capital letters. What? I submit that Mr. Justice left us with the name of his attacker before he fainted.
No, great. More evidence.
No, it can't be true. How would Apollo write my name? Mr. Wright, the note of him leaving that message, why would he do that?
Hey, don't take it out on me. I don't understand it any more than you do. We discovered Apollo yesterday. Yeah, Apollo. Oh, yeah, this is when they scream. Or at least Athena screamed at the cutscene. We didn't even have a chance to rush over to him. As soon as security heard Athena scream, they ran in and cordoned off the area. After that, they were there in the courtroom number 4 with Apollo the whole time. We couldn't investigate anything ourselves, and we had to leave everything to police. Still, I never thought they would find some bloody writing there. Now then, please begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Okay.
During the trial yesterday, I was overcome with a fit of coughing. Paul stayed with me and went to the courtroom together.
Hold it!
Why exactly did you go to the courtroom ruins? We went to look for my medicine. To stop my coughing.
I thought you said you were looking for evidence.
Your medicine? Why would your medicine be in courtroom number 4? I dropped it in the heat of the moment. Ref Wright, he was keeping my medicine safe for me. He had a little compartment that I can put things in, you see?
And Phony Fancy has the same type of pocket. That's where the bomb was inserted.
I had to put my medicine for my coughing fit inside Ref Wright. I told Apollo about it. He said he'd help me go look for it. There was so much rubble in there, I was worried, but there was no rubble or anything in front of the witness stand. So when we got inside, Apollo went straight there and started looking for Wright in that area. It was so nice of him to do that for me, in spite of all his injuries. Apollo's so strong and kind, just like the trees of the forest. The way she makes him sound, you'd think Apollo was some kind of ancient god. Oh wait.
Well, that's why you went to the ruins. I see. That seems to be quite an important fact. Please add it to your testimony, Miss Woods.
Okay, let me go check the court record. I was not looking for me but Wright near the witness stand where there was no rubble. Let me see. Well, there was no rubble. It's either that, but there are literally a bunch of rubbles around the witness stand right there. Sorry, Miss Wood, but you have objection! So he started a search with the witness stand, you say? That's right. I guess maybe he wanted to start from the furthest point in the room. He would be so brave. And strong. Why are you coughing? But that's odd. Under circumstances, he shouldn't have been capable of that. But he was, and he still is. He may not look it, but he really is brave and kind too. No, that's not the part I'm finding fault with. Someone had a crush on Apollo. Ha! Interesting. What you're claiming is something that no one should have been able to do.
Well, I should think that anyone can be brave and kind if they want to be, Mr. Wright.
True, anyone can be brave and kind, but if you would please take a look at the diagram. With the courtroom in this state, how was it possible to walk up to the witness stand? Oh.
I see your point. The road blocks off access to the area around the witness stand.
Does such tiny intricacy even matter? Perhaps the witness is simply misremembering it. Great, no, I'm not so sure it matters. A real man doesn't make mountains out of molehills, you know?
But that's precisely what Mr. Wright does best.
I call slander, Your Honor.
So, was it really impossible to approach the witness stand? I have to say, it's a bit hard to tell with any accuracy from just describing them. Mr. Payne, do you have any other photos of the crime scene?
Let me see, Your Honor. Ah, yes. I have one more. Here it is. It's a more pulled back version of the photo I presented before. Okay. Huh? What's that hunk of metal on wheels? Mr. Payne, is a metallic object in that photo Mr. Tony bomb transport case? That's right. Is there some problem?
Yes, that transport case was there in the courtroom number 4 when the bomb went off. And what's happened there ever since?
Oh, that's it. Miss Woods, have you remembered something? Yes, I just realized. Its position. It's different from before. Its position? The position of what? The position of that big metal thing. The bomb transporter case? Yes, when Apollo and I went there, it was in a different place. Where the case in the photo was open space, so it was easy to search the stand. I see. So where was the transport case when you, Mr. Justice, saw it? As I recall, I think it was more to the right. To the right? And that means, in that case, the case was over there at the time of Apollo's attack. Who cares where the transport case was when? What difference does it make? It has nothing at all to do with what we were talking about. Objection! Where the transport case has everything to do with this discussion. In fact, it's so important that it's enough to turn the prosecution's argument on its ear. What?
Well, that certainly sounds very relevant indeed. And you sound as though you know where the case was at the time of the attack.
Yes, Your Honor. This diagram at the crime scene is shown in the photo. And this is where the transport gate was at the time of the assault on Mr. Justice. Alright, I have this. The bomb transport gate was here at the time of Apollo's attack. They said it was at the right, so I assume it was on top of this wood stingy, right here. Right here.
Take that!
Take that! Your Honor, I assert this is where the transport gate was at the time of the assault.
But that's...
Inconceivable! Miss Woods, was this where the transport gate was when you saw it? Yes, that's where it was. Thank you, Miss Woods. I'm sure this court had known an interesting fact about the position.
This transport case covers up the writing in blood.
Exactly. Its transport case was in that position at the time of the assault. Then no message could have been written there because the case was in his way. In the way. Which leads us to conclude that Mr. Justice couldn't have left that bloody writing.
Objection!
Objection! Why should we believe the defendant's claim that the case was in a different position? He's obviously lying.
Objection!
Objection! The fact that the case was moved after the assault on Mr. Justice is proved by more than with Wood's testimony alone. What? And where is this proof you're talking about? It's right here in the crime photo.
I'm keen to see this proof myself, Mr. Wright. What in this world indicates the transport case was moved after the assault?
What proved the case was moved after the assault? Okay, let me see. There are like movements of these things moving. Oh wait, it was moved after the assault because the thing hit his bandage right here. It hit his bandages and moved to the left. It's gotta be this one.
Take that!
Please take a look at the mark that runs over Mr. Justice's bandage here.
I see. But what is it?
This mark was made by one of the crafters from the transport case carrying the bomb. As the case was moved, it ran over his bandages. In other words, the transport case was originally to the right of Mr. Justice. And after Mr. Justice was assaulted, the transport case was moved. What? Just as Miss Wood said the case was covering the writing at the time of the assault. Therefore, it was impossible for Mr. Justice to have left that message in blood. No! Did it, boss? It was a real nail biter, but you pulled it off.
Yep, that should bring down the prosecution's claim like a house of cards, of course. Cards. Order in the court. Mr. Wright, that was a very clever deduction.
It was nothing, Your Honor. Nothing but pure genius. Take that. Boss, I'm sensing a definite smug and braggy vibe coming off of you.
I have just one question, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor?
If Mr. Justice didn't leave this message in blood, then who did?
Huh? What? Oh. Well... Looks like I should have taken that train of thought through to the last station. Well, I've heard a lot about this. So this is Mr. Wright's famous bluffing technique, is it?
This feeling. It brings back memories of the old days. Back when you carved out a name for yourself by bluffing your way through Trickington, I don't know.
Hey, Mr. Wright. It just kind of makes you sound no better than a stupid con man. You made your argument with such confidence, Mr. Wright. I'd like to hear your answer with just as much confidence.
Ugh.
Hey, until the judge asked the question, you didn't catch on either, Buster. What now, boss? I hope you didn't bluff your way into a corner. Think, Venus. There must be a way through this. I gotta make my way to the truth somehow. Who could have written that message in blood? The culprit, Apollo, or someone else? Okay, hold on. We assumed that Ted Tone was a culprit, but something tells me someone else could have also been it. Like, hold on. If we were to assume that he did like put this down, but the thing is, why did he try to cover his own the Woods writing? I don't know. Why would he try to cover evidence that would help his case if we were assumed that he was? I don't know, but something tells me I'm gonna go in my gut and say someone else. I hopefully I'm not wrong. It wasn't Apollo. Who could have left the bloody message? It can't be Apollo. No, you can't say Juniper Wood. Why would she do that? I can't say. Oh, the only person left is Candace's arm. Would she leave it? She was not alive though. But at the same time, that was also hidden. I already picked someone else, so I'm gonna have to go with my gut.
Take that!
Take that! To be honest, I don't actually have any proof of this. But I've come this far. There's no turning back now. Besides Apollo, there was one more person who shed blood at this crime scene. A person who shed blood? You don't mean... Oh, but I do. I believe it was Candace's arm who left behind this message in blood. What? Was it correct? What? Detective R? Are you sure you know what you're doing here? Not really.
Objection!
Objection! What kind of ridiculous assertion is that? If you had said the attacker left the message to throw people off, it might have made sense. At first glance, that would seem to be the most reasonable explanation. However, Apollo didn't shed enough blood to write such an extensive message. Oh, that's true. There was barely blood on the photos. Hold on, let me check. Yeah, there was barely blood. Uh-oh. Ah, I see. Even the photo makes it clear there wasn't enough blood to write all those letters. I meant to trust that this survived. I suppose he did bleed very extensively in that case. But why would Detective R write the defendant's name? There is no connection between the two whatsoever. I didn't even know the lady who was killed. Oh wait, that's a flashback, never mind. They had never even met each other. That's very true. Well then, let's see. Then maybe the intended meaning of the message is not what it appears to be. The intended meaning? Not what it appeared to be? Maybe the message was not intended to be Woods. Coming from you, that's quite a bold statement, Mr. Wright. You assert that the bloody writing could have some other meaning? Yes, Your Honor. From something I pulled out of a wormhole, it could turn out to be true, right?
Objection!
Objection! It clearly says Woods, as anyone can plainly see. What other meaning could it possibly have?
Objection!
Objection! What can't this arm with a detective? Maybe Wood only means something to the police. Or means something to the police. Like a police scanner code, for example. I didn't think of that. You may have tricked his honor, but you'll never get the best of me. I have a thing for studying on the weekends, as you may have already guessed. As there is no such radio code as Woods in the state, dear Mr. Wright. Is that a fact? Don't look at me, I know as much as you do about police codes.
Enough of this. I was quite taken with the defense new theory. But if they can't substantiate it with anything, then I must end things here.
No, please wait, Your Honor.
Very well, but before we discuss this theory any further, I demand a plausible explanation.
I have not breathed in like a while from reading all that.
So, Mr. Wright, what is the true meaning of the bloody writing?
Well, I believe it's...
No stalling. If you can't come up with an answer quickly, I will declare the discussion officially over.
I'm in trouble now. What other meaning could I have besides the obvious one? Maybe it means something in another language? Or maybe it's a code? Think, Phoenix. You can do this.
Which means others will tell us what the word woods really mean. Let me look at it again. WOODS. Some sort of code. I don't see a code here. Oh, it might be this one actually. It might be this one. Let's try it. Take that!
A bomb transport case? I've about had it up to here with your shenanigans, Mr. Wright.
Take a look at the numbers on this case, Your Honor. L10015R. Doesn't the string look vaguely familiar?
L100. What does that have to do with anything?
What could those numbers possibly have to do with the case at hand? Now please take a look at the bloody writing shown in the crime photo. Oh, I think I see it.
Atta girl.
That's one on my side.
It says woods.
Or you could say it's a horse of a different color, Your Honor. The first character isn't a W. It's actually an L and a 1. The next two are zeros.
Oh, my goodness.
The true meaning behind the bloody writing isn't Miss Wood's name. It's the number engraved on this bomb transport case.
Objection!
Objection! What are you talking about? The next part doesn't make any sense. The next number is a 1, but the bloody writing says D.
Objection!
Objection! But the number on the case and the bloody writing can be made to match up quite easily. This is how the number on the transport case can be made to match the bloody writing. Let me check. Erase one line, erase two lines, or read it backwards. No, reading it backwards does not work. Okay, so might do L1001S. So I think we erase two lines. So erase two lines. Please erase the third downward stroke of the W and the curved part of the D. Yeah.
Well, would you look at that? Louise?
Oh no, Your Honor, it isn't meant to be read as a word. It's a number L10015. Which if you take away the final R, it's the exact same number that's on the bomb transport case.
Objection!
Objection! Erase two lines and they match up, you say? And well, I can change anything into anything else simply by erasing two lines. What if you erase two lines from your name? Would you be happy as Mr. Wright?
Really? Well, would you, Mr. Wright? Really?
The only right spelling is right. Okay, I'm doing pretty well here, and I think I've drawn the right conclusion. Get the unreal message to us that the bomb transport case number. Your Honor, the two lines were added by the real culprit to intentionally mislead people. What? The original message is an R left behind with the transport case number. But whoever told Apollo changed the message. You're right, boss. Then what do you suppose Detective Arm was trying to tell us? Good question. What does this number mean to represent? Supposed to represent Ted Turney, the murderer. Well, not the murderer, but kind of the way it is, but the courtroom bombing culprit. Candace Arm lost her life in a courtroom bombing. Her dying message could only have had one purpose. No. To tell us the name of the one responsible for the bombing.
Well, don't keep us in suspense, Mr. Wright. Tell us who was you trying to name?
The culprit that the victim was trying to identify is none other than the Ted Turney.
Take that!
The defense was to indict Mr. Ted Turney on the charge of the courtroom bombing.
Ted Turney?
I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Tony or Turney, I don't know. Apparently, the family bombing is Mr. Turney's only specialty. Somehow the victim must have realized that he was a bomber. So when she was caught in a blast, she left his bomb transport case number as her dying message. She used Mr. Tony's own ID number to finger him for the crime.
Objection!
Objection. Why would anyone go out their way to write an ID number? Wouldn't they simply write the person's name instead? Or name? He's got a good point there.
What do you have to say to that, Mr. Wright?
Not only Detective Arm would know the answer to that, but allow me to offer a theory. Perhaps Detective Arm couldn't recall Mr. Tony's name in the heat of the moment. As I recall, this was the first meeting between the two. It's entirely possible they would have been familiar with each other. Using the ID number was a way to time the true meaning from the real culprit, thus lowering the odds that they would erase the bloody writing. But no matter what the reason, the important thing is the meaning behind her message. The fact remains she wrote Mr. Tony's ID number.
Objection!
Objection. Now just one moment here. There hasn't been any proof yet that it was indeed Detective Arm who wrote it. The bloody writing wasn't found during the investigation after the blast. If Detective Arm had left a message, it should have been found at the time.
Objection!
Objection! Naturally, Mr. Tony hid it before anyone could discover it. And there's a simple explanation for how he was able to do so. What? Mr. Tony was able to cover the message up because he's a stickler for detail, the first to find the body wearing those weird goggles. It would make sense he was first to find the body, so the first to find the body. The first person to discover the bloody writing was Mr. Tony himself. Yeah, see. When Mr. Tony saw that the victim had written his ID number, he used the bomb transport case to cover up the bloody writing as a stopgap measure. Oh, so that's why the message in blood was under the transport case. He didn't have enough time to try and scrub away the writing. If he didn't report the body right away, he would look suspicious. But those letters lived on to serve another function. When Mr. Tony used them in another incident.
Oh, do you sort of Mr. Justice?
Exactly. Mr. Tony hit upon a plan to use the bloody writing for his own purpose. So he didn't clean it away. Instead, he made it look like Mr. Justice wrote it, by adding 2 lines to the writing that Detective Arm left behind. He changed the meaning of the message. He made it look like Mr. Justice was accusing Miss Woods of the attack. So that means the only person who could have altered the bloody writing was a courtroom bomber, who was the same person that assaulted Mr. Justice. And that person is Ted Tony. Ah! Alright, we're doing good so far.
Order in the court. Order, I say. It looks like we will have to hear from the bomb specialist himself. Mr. Payne, please have Mr. Tony take the witness stand.
Yes, Your Honor. That was great, Mr. Wright. Just doing what I do best. Just flying by the seat of my pants. In any case, they do what they think you can handle. I was wondering why he said that. I finally draw Mr. Tony back into the witness stand. Looks like you'll get your wish, goggle man. Now watch me take your lies apart. Hold on a second.
Mr. Tony, I'm afraid we have a few more questions for you.
I understand the situation, Your Honor. I'll keep a close eye on the proceedings from the gallery. The allegations are all laughable.
Objection!
Objection! I wouldn't be laughing if I were you, Mr. Tony. The message in the blood matches your ID number. The same ID number that is there on that bomb transport case. Such a far-fetched theory, no better than a tangled ball of wires. I'll have them untangled for you in no time at all. You were the first person on the scene after Detective Arm left her message in blood. You were the only one who could have hidden the writing and then used it again later. I see times 2, but then let me ask you, do you have any proof that Detective Arm wrote that message? That's a very good question. Well, do you, Mr. Wright?
The best way to prove that the same arm wrote that message is to analyze the handwriting, analyze the DNA. It would make sense to analyze the DNA, because the handwriting is so easy that anyone can do it, because it's big words. Like, you know, big letters. So, the DNA is more better. Your Honor, I request that DNA test be performed on the blood itself. Once we know who it is, it'll be obvious as to who wrote the message.
Very well. Bailiff, please put in the request for a DNA test with the forensic team. Yes, Your Honor. There will be some time before we have the results of the analysis. Until then, let's hear more from the witness.
I would like nothing more, Your Honor. I want the court to hear now how ridiculous the defense theory is. I'll prove that wrong, Mr. Culprit. Ooh. I admit I was the first one on the scene after the explosion, but there was no bloody writing there at the time. Anyway, there's no way such an arm could have written it. She struck her head on rubble and died near the courtroom entrance. She was too far away from where the bloody message was found. So you're saying that the victim's body was nowhere near where the writing was? Precisely. It is as plain as day that she could not have written it. It's true that the body was discovered near the entrance to the courtroom, but please have a look at this crime scene photo. As you can see, there is blood on the rubble near the victim's body. She must have died after hitting her head over. Or hitting her head there.
Ugh. I see. Alright then, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Do you have what it takes to take my infallible testimony apart? Oh, I'll show you. Okay, yeah. But there was no bloody writing there at the time.
Oh, whoops. Wrong button.
Anyway, there's no way such an arm could have written it. She had struck her head on rubble and died near the courtroom entrance.
Oh.
She has struck her head on the rubble and died near the courtroom entrance. It's true that she died near a courtroom entrance. But hold on. The rubble is pointy, right? It's kind of a little pointy, but the autopsy report said that it is back of the head caused by an impact with a flat object. I'm gonna try presenting the autopsy report. If it's not that, I'll probably present the photo. But for now, the autopsy report. Objection! You are a terrible liar, Mr. Tony. Take a look at this autopsy, specifically the part about Detective Arm's head injury. Cause of death, trauma to the back of the head, caused by impact with a flat object. Yes, what about it? Now take a good look at the bloody piece of rubble. It's sharp and pointed. Hey, you're right, boss. It is pointy. Just like your hair. I'll take that as a compliment.
That is odd, isn't it? What could be the meaning of this contradiction?
I believe it means the victim did not hit her head on the piece of rubble. The bloodstain you see is just another fabrication. Its purpose is to mislead us into thinking the victim died near the courtroom entrance. Are you claiming the culprit moved the victim's body? That's exactly what I'm claiming. The victim hit her head on some other location. Most likely on the floor or some other flat surface. And this location was somewhere near where the bloody writing was found. In that case, she definitely could have written the message.
Your Honor, I have the results of the bloodstain analysis. Ah, very good timing. Let's take a look. According to this report, the message was written in Detective Arm's blood. And as the defense claimed, only parts of the message that were added afterwards were written in Mr. Justice's blood. It would appear that the defense assertion is correct after all. Alright, cool.
Yes, you did it. You were right, boss.
Now I have to drive it home. I'll have to take a look at the bloody writing analysis later.
Did you really have to type that?
Mr. Tony, it is now apparent that you hold several lies to this court. I hope you have some sort of explanation for yourself.
Fine, I will confess.
You will?
Then why are you so calm? This time I will tell the truth.
Yeah, you're totally gonna tell the truth.
It is true that Detective Arm wrote my ID number. She very plainly wrote L1015R. I was shocked, but I did not detonate the bomb. The Arm must have mistaken me for the real bomber. Not wanting to be accused, I moved the body and cover the writing. My bad. That last one's a confession, so I'm probably not gonna hold it on that one, but I'm gonna try look at the other one in the court record. Oh, I didn't get to read that. Whoops. That is correct. I did not kill Detective Arm.
Oh well, if that's all you did then. Wait a minute. That in and of itself is a criminal act.
Glad to see you finally crossed the finish line, Your Honor.
Very well, then. Your cross-examination, please, Mr. Wright.
Okay. Are you sure that I wrote my ID number? She regularly wrote L1015R. I mean, yeah. I believe it did say it here. Or yeah, here. Wait, hold on. Wait. Wait, hold on. No. It doesn't even... I don't see R. I mean, I could possibly see R there, but I don't see it. So... I don't know what to present. Either the Apollo's assault photo or the bloody writing analysis. But since you can see it, more better on this one, I'm gonna present this one. Objection! I just want to make doubly sure that L10015R is really what you saw written in blood. Yes, it very clearly said L10015R. But that's odd, because that's not what I see.
Objection!
Objection! What on earth are you babbling on about now? Wasn't it you who claimed that the bloody writing was an ID number in the first place? That is true, but I had to point out. I guess I cornered myself. Take a look at the photo in the bloody writing analysis. Now tell me, does it really say L10015R?
Uh-oh.
Something is missing, isn't it? And that something is the final R.
What is the meaning of this, Mr. Tony?
Oh, right. Now I remember. There was no R on the end. It was just a slip of the finger. My bad. Come back, my beautiful contradiction. Well, I already got away. Wow. It's alright. I'm not sure it was just a slip of the finger. You got something for me, Athena? I tend to be extremely agitated, almost panicked. She does look pretty flustered.
Well, Mr. Wright, it appears it was nothing more than a mere mistake.
I don't know. Did he really just make a typo? What about that R? Did Mr. Tony really see it? He thought he saw an R, he actually saw it. Well, the court... I mean, it does say that there's like a little bloody writing there, but I wonder where it is, so he did see it. Maybe Mr. Tony really did see the R. But there's no R anywhere in the bloody writing. What's going on here? Huh? I'll take another good look at the photo. I think maybe... That's it! What is it now, Mr. Wright? Are you trying to imitate Apollo and his cords of steel? I've got it. So that's what happened. A slip of the finger? Is that really all it was? Because I don't think so. I propose that Mr. Tony really did see the letter R. But the photo clearly showed that there was no R. No, Your Honor. Actually, just the opposite is true. The photo shows that Mr. Tony actually could have seen the R. If you're going to make that claim, then you better be able to point out what you mean. What part of the photo shows that Mr. Tony could have seen the R? This little bloody writing right here. Take that! Please look here to the right of the 5. Do you see a little bit of red? Oh, I see it. Just on the edge of where the floor is broken up. That's the R that Mr. Tony saw.
Objection!
Objection! It's true that the witness wears some very, very odd goggles, but it doesn't mean his eyesight is bad, not his brain power, nor his brain power. What part of that little smudge looks like an R to you?
Objection!
Objection! Sorry, that was a little late. But what Mr. Tony saw wasn't that little smudge. There was a hole and a complete R written there. Before the floor was damaged by the explosion. Oh, well, that explains it. Huh? Can you explain what you mean? Because you just proposed that everything would happen in the exact opposite order. Yep, because that's the way it really went down. The timing when the R was written turned everything about this case around. Now then, the floor was damaged by explosion. When was this message written? Well, it would make sense if it was written before the explosion. So, I would say before the explosion. With a bloody message running off the edge of the damaged floor like that. Wait, I'm actually kind of think of it. If it was before the explosion, how did no one notice this bloody writing? That's one question I have to. Maybe Ted Tony did the same thing. He covered it with a bomb transport case. At least maybe, I don't know. I can only conclude that it was written before the explosion. But that's ridiculous. If that were true, it overturns your own premise. That's right. It does. In fact, it turns everything upside down. The victim was not killed by the explosion in the courtroom. She was killed before the explosion ever occurred. Ugh. Order in the court. What kind of preposterous claim is that? Have you forgotten that the victim's body was found at the scene of the explosion?
Objection!
True, but let's consider the scenario. She was hit on the head and killed before the explosion, or even before the trial began. Her body was subsequently placed in the courtroom ruins after the bomb occurring. That way it could be made to look like she was the victim of the black. What?
Sounds like we had better look into what the victim was doing before the trial. Mr. Payne, did anyone see the victim's arm before the trial?
Let's see. According to the police report. Ah, here it is. One person saw the victim before the trial. And that person was Ted Tony. Wait, what?
No one besides Mr. Tony saw the victim?
That appears to be the case, Your Honor.
Great typing.
I will now ask the court to recall something. Specifically Mr. Tony's words from yesterday. Yeah.
Oh my.
Mr. Tony, just before the trial, you were with the victim. The two of you were together at the scene of the crime, courtroom number 4. Your Honor, the defense requests new testimony from Mr. Tony. We wish to hear what he has to say about his whereabouts just before the trial.
Mr. Tony, your testimony, please.
My testimony, there's no need for it. Blah, blah, blah. He's completely unnerved, Mr. Wright. You must have hit him a nail on the head. Because all I did was transport the bomb to the courtroom. I already told you. Blast this thing. I was only in the courtroom with the victim because of our work. I swear I was only transporting the bomb. There.
Objection!
Objection! You and the victim were alone together at the scene of the crime. In other words, you certainly had the opportunity to commit murder, did you not?
Objection!
Objection! Tisk. You always leave yourself so open to attack, Mr. Wright. What now, Mr. Payne? Yes, Mr. Knight may have had the opportunity to kill the arm, but an important piece of your assertion is missing. What important piece? The murder weapon. What do you claim was used to kill the victim?
Mr. Payne has a point. Even if Mr. Tony had a chance without a weapon, we can't accuse him of the crime.
Well, Mr. Tony.
Yes, that's right. I didn't have any sword that could be used as a murder weapon. I could possibly have killed Detective Arm.
Did he really have nothing he could use as a murder weapon? What is it, Athena? Just looking over the victim's autopsy report. I'm hoping there's something in here that can point us in the right direction. It does say that she died from trauma to the back of the head with a flat object. And it's like that specific kind of injury. All you would need to do is a flat surface, right? A heavy, blunt object with a flat surface that could definitely be our murder weapon.
Well, Mr. Wright, can you indicate for the court what was used to kill Detective Arm?
I believe I can. Believe being the key word here.
You can? Then please do so now. What did Mr. Tony have that could have been used as a murder weapon?
Heavy and flat surface. This one's too heavy. I think this one might be too heavy, but it could be it. It could be the bomb itself. There is a little crack there, now that I think about it. So it could be this one. Let me try the bomb first. Take that! Mr. Tony, you say you didn't have anything that could be used as a weapon? But in fact, you had the perfect thing. What? What the are you talking about? You had this.
That's the bomb. I thought you were trying to prove that the victim wasn't killed by the bomb blast.
The bomb blast? No, but I believe Candace's arm was killed with this bomb. Because this is the blunt object that delivered a fatal blow to her head. Oh god damn it. Hold on. Please recall the descriptive of Detective Arm's head wound. Trauma to the back of head caused by impact with a flat object. We assume the injury was sustained when her head hit the floor. But a blow from any flat side of this bomb would produce the exact same wound pattern. Oh god. Will you shut up and just say what your point is? What's with him? Let's show me some proof. Where's the evidence that I hit the victim with the bomb? He's right. I don't have anything decisive. What about the crack? Did you find any of the victim's blood on the bomb? That would be decisive proof. But too bad, the bomb is blown to bits. It's long gone. Boom. Game over. Yeah. Mr. Wright, is there really nothing on the bomb in that photo? I don't see any blood or anything. Wait, the timer display is a little broken here. Maybe it broke when it made contact with the victim's arm and head. That's definitely a distinct possibility. But unless we find a fragment with the victim's blood on it, it's not going to count. I guess you're right. I guess that, by setting out the bomb, Tony managed to literally alter the murder weapon. What in the world do I do now? At times like this, I gotta change gears and look things in a different way. That's kind of the difficult one about trials, because then, like, you know, I could think what can make sense, but then we're looking things in a different way, so what's difficult, because I don't know what Phoenix is thinking. So look for the thing he wasn't able to hide.
I should be looking for a way to expose the things he did hide. I would do this voice, guys, but it's a thinking thought, so it doesn't count. Ted Tennant murdered Sam Arm before the trial started. They placed her body in the courtroom after the bomb went off, which means there was something he needed to keep hidden until then. And I think I have just the thing. Time to protect the photo to show exactly what Tony had to hide. What did he hide? A remote switch? No. Damn. Maybe he hit the body or something?
Take that!
Your Honor, there's something we've all been overlooking. If the murder took place before the trial, eventually it would have had to hide the body somewhere during the trial. Fair point. Hey, right, and if we can figure out where that hidden hiding place was, exactly, we might be able to find some evidence we can pin him down with. So where could they have hidden the body during the trial? It would make sense if it was in his own transport case. Take that! Wait, a box big enough for a body. A box that was in the courtroom for the whole time. A box nobody would touch if they thought there was a bomb in it. Mr. Tony. What is it? Do you finally have some decisive evidence to show me? No, you're the one who's going to show it to me. Come again? You heard me now. Show me what's inside the bomb transport case. What? Why? No, there's no need. I've got him now. Before the trial, you killed the victim with a blunt object, and then you placed her placed her body in the ruins of the courtroom after the bomb went off. Clearly, you were trying to make it look like she died in an explosion. But where was the body hidden during the trial? Oh, I hadn't thought of that. The answer is right here. Inside the box made of thick alloy plating that can withstand any impact. Oh no, that's completely false. If it's false, you should have no objection to showing us your transport case. So, let's open it and take a look inside, shall we? Oh, what now? Let's not. Not if you value your life. What's he up to now? Remain calm and listen carefully. This bomb will detonate in 5 minutes. Really? What? Huh? I repeat, this HA-3000 will detonate in 5 minutes. What's going on? Your Honor, I recommend you adjourn this trial. You're trying to use your fake bomb to assume that's a real bomb just to adjourn the trial and just hide your evidence? Heck no, I'm not falling for that. When this bomb goes off. Mr. Tony, are you threatening me? I'm the only one who can disable the bombs. If you don't want to die, your only option is to listen to me. Mr. Tony, didn't you just say that's just a training model, a fake to practice on? I did, but I also lied. This is the real deal. This is the HA-3000. But the HA-3000 was used to blow up the courtroom number 4, wasn't it? How do you know it was the real HA-3000 that blew up courtroom number 4? Huh? The bomb that blew up the courtroom was a different one. One that I made. What? Then I'll read to make that as a part of your confession, your part. Take it any way you would like, yeah, there's no doubt. He's literally confessing, but he's also trying to hide evidence. Just before the trial, I took the HA-3000 out of the stuffed animal and put my own bomb into it. That was the bomb that exploded and destroyed courtroom number 4. So what's the point of even hiding evidence? You're basically confessing, because whether if it's HA-3000 or not, then that would still, so the fact that the courtroom did blow up, then it would make you the freaking culprit. But whatever, I'll play with your game if you want. You really expect us to believe a crazy story like that? HA-3000 is so unique, I had never seen anything like it. It is so unique that I could not replicate the destination mechanism. so I just had to have it. Besides, did anyone look inside the stuffed animal during the trial? Did anyone check to see if it really was HA3000 in there?
I must confess, no one opened the stuffed animal to check.
So there really is a possibility that the bomb was switched out? No, not a possibility, a certainty. I did it. You had a real bomb with him this whole time. Yeah, better get out of here while you can do it. You do not have much time.
Order in the court!
Ah, great. Come on. I'm not falling for that. You four are still here. Well, aren't you brave? You're still here too.
It's just wouldn't go do for the judge presiding over this court to run. But that horrible explosion the other day.
The judge looks like he's about to book it for the nearest exit. And Mr. Payne? That is... And he's out. And he's off. Yep. Mr. Wright, what do we do? It'd be pretty pathetic to run now, wouldn't it? But the bomb might really go off. Only 3 more minutes, folk. Is that bomb really the HA3000? What should I do? Run like a yellow-bellied chicken. Stand my ground. No, I'm not falling for that. Stand my ground. I can't run now. Well, it's been fun, but I will be going now. With my dear HA3000, naturally. Oh, and by the way, I would advise against having me follow. You would have the most switch. This bomb can still be triggered manually. If I think I'm being followed, I will detonate it on the spot. Farewell. Hold it! You're not going anywhere, Mr. Ted Tonate. Oh. Your Honor, there's no reason to be afraid. That bomb is a fake!
Are you sure, Mr. Wright?
More of your famous bluffing. Even at the risk of your own life.
Mr. Wright, none of your bluffing now, and not on a time like this. Lives are on the line here.
I'm not bluffing, and I have proof.
You do?
Yes, of course, Your Honor. It's right here in the photo of the bomb, clear as day. The proof that Mr. Tonate's bomb is not a real HA3000.
Really? Out with it then, immediately. Where's the proof that Mr. Tonate is holding is not the real HA3000?
The crack? I'm gonna assume the crack, so I'm gonna take that! The display for the timer on the bomb in this photo is broken. Most likely it broke when Mr. Tonate used the bomb to attack the arm. But the display on the bomb in front of us is not broken.
Oh, you're right.
Therefore, this is not the real HA3000. Mr. Tonate was clearly lying when he said he switched out the bomb in the stuffed animal. The real HA3000 blew up in the courtroom number 4. This bomb is nothing more than a fake, a model used for training purposes. Fear not, Your Honor. I will examine inside the bomb on my transport case myself.
Yes, please do that, Mr. Wright.
Oh, stop.
What is that? Is that a bloodstain?
Just as I suspected. Your lies have all been blown to bits, Mr. Tonate. I'm confident DNA analysis on the bloodstain will confirm that it's Detective Arm's blood, and that those results will conclusively prove that you murdered Detective Arm. How about it, Mr. Tonate? Think you can dismantle this decisive evidence?
Dismantle it?
You're too late. You missed your chance to run, so now you're out of time. The HA3000 is about to explode. Don't try to threaten us, Mr. Tonate. I've already proved that your bomb is a fake. It's real. This bomb is the real thing, I tell you. It's real.
Shut up. Mad Bomber, party of one. There's no time left. It's going to blow. I have to disarm it. I have to take it apart. I can dismantle anything. I can take apart evidence. I can take apart bombs. I can dismantle it all. Dismantle, 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 dismantle. I'm not gonna make it. Only one thing left to do. Stop. Jeez. Made it. 2 seconds left. Ugh. Freaking RoboCop. Game over. Dismantle attempt failed. Can you not look at me like that? It's all over. My life has been blown to pieces. It's all that stupid woman's fault. I was selling the bombs I disarmed on the black market. When I tried to take this one, she just had to notice me, didn't she? She confronted me in courtroom number 4 that day. That's why I had no choice. Before I knew what I was doing, I hid her. It's all her fault. You have yourself to blame for trying to do a crime. While I was looking for a place to hide her body, she left a mess in her own blood. The trial was about to start, so I didn't have time to clean it up. And now all this. I thought for sure I could disguise her death without an explosion. Then a stupid defense attorney started sticking his nose into my business. After my testimony yesterday, I went to courtroom number 4 and I found that kid all up in my bomb transport case. That's when I snuck up behind him and BAM! And when the idiot police arrived, arrested that little girl, I thought for sure I could pin it on her. Why? Oh, why? Well, as long as Phoenix is around, criminals can never get away with them. Head Tony, you are hereby under arrest. On suspicion of the courtroom bombing and the assault on Mr. Justice. Your innocence or guilt will be determined at a later trial. Now then, I see that members of the public have returned to the gallery. One person, however, seems to still be running far, far away. Aye, day, Mr. Payne. Be that as it may, I will now announce Miss Juniper Wood's verdict. Not guilty. Yeah! First victory of Dual Destinies. Court is adjourned. Alright, cool. You did it, boss. Yeah, I guess we managed to pull it off somehow. So many mysteries cleared up all at once. It was amazing. It just sort of worked out that way, didn't it? It's not the kind of thing that usually just works out. You made it happen. And the way that mean prosecutor hightailed it out of here, that was great. It's alright, Dina. Thank you for everything you did for me. So happy for you, Junie. Now you can go home back into the forest in peace. I hope that both of you will come and visit me there sometime. That would be nice. Thank you for the invitation. I do know, Mr. Wright. I'm not sure you can make it all the way up to Junie's house. How high up do you live again, Junie? Around 3,000 feet, I think. What the heck? What? That's no forest, that's a mountain. You know, boss, there's something that still bothers me about the case. A little mystery we never got around to solving. Oh, that? Yeah, I'm wondering about that too. Is this the unsolved mystery you're thinking of?
Oh, the missing remote switch?
Take that!
Take that! The remote switch, right? Yeah, I wonder where it disappeared to. Maybe Mr. Johnny just got rid of it somewhere? Yeah, it is a pretty big thing to leave unsolved, though. Well, let's leave it up to the police to find. For now, we should be celebrating our not guilty verdict. I guess you're right. We should probably keep in mind about the remote switch throughout the whole game, just in case. Yeah, I know. Junie, shall we go report the good news? You know, to that certain someone? Apollo? Okay. Huh? Her grandmother? How silly, to Apollo! Oh, right. Well, why don't we go on to the hospital together to see him? Great idea. I bet he bored out of his mind. Okay. And so the courtroom bombing case came to a close. But the next trial was just over the horizon. There's never a dull moment with so many lawyers in the office, that's for sure. Apollo Justice, Athena Sykes, and me, Phoenix Wright. Between the three of us, there's no case we can't solve. When our powers combine, we're an unstoppable team. At least, that's what I believe. Yeah, but all of that changed with what Apollo said to us that day. It was something that would put my faith in us to the ultimate test. What did he say? What happened?
Sorry, but I'll be taking a leave of absence.
Wait! What do you mean by a leave?
Can you at least give me a reason why?
I can only say that this is something I must settle on my own.
Huh, there's Trucy. I was wondering where she was. But what? I don't understand what Apollo means. I guess as we go on, we'll find out what he means.
Oh, why, Apollo? Why are you shutting us out?
I saw the sadness thing on Widget. What happened to you, Apollo? Ever since you put that jacket on, you've changed. And now, for whatever reason, all my mind keeps doing is returning to the day I first met you. Huh. We had tackled our first case together, he and I, this past spring. And as we did, I came to know who he is and how he thinks. It was a very peculiar case, one in which the victim was killed by a mythical creature. What? So that was the past. Oh. End. Okay, wow, that was, oh, okay. I'll view them another time. Thank you very much. Episode 2 of the Monstrous Turnabout. Okay, we'll just have a teaser. What the? What?
Long, long ago, the nine-tailed fox defeated the evil Tenmataro and sealed the fallen demon away.
Tenmataro.
To this day, it is said that he slumbers even still within the Forbidden Chamber.
What the?
Night, night, Alderman. Sweet dreams.
Ugh.
At long last, the revival of Tenmataro is at hand.
Tenmataro. Oh, now the screen just changed. A few months prior to the... We'll worry about that later, please. I know I don't want my attorney's badge. At least I know I'll be playing as a lawyer. Okay, that was different. That's something new. Apparently, I don't know what to say about Apollo now. Something has changed, I guess. He's taking a leave of absence? For what? And what reason? I guess we'll find out as we go on. But for now, guys, that is it for part 2 of episode 1. That is the last part of episode 1. So, yeah, looking forward to playing this more, because this one's definitely seeing an interesting one. So, yeah, stay tuned for episode 2, The Monstrous Turnabout. And, yeah, peace out, guys.